This is Gareth Southgate, and this is the Three Lions podcast.
Hello and welcome to episode 62 of the Three Lions podcast. My name's Russell Osborne. Well, that was a positive international break. And not just on the men's senior front. In fact, all England age groups have performed well. We'll go through all those results later on. And there's also some news of some silverware heading to St George's Park. Stay tuned. Now, also coming up on this episode, we'll talk with Dom Smith from englandfootball.org about both those Euro 2020 qualifying games at Wembley and Southampton. Plus, something new. We'll also speak with a Bulgarian fan and a Kosovan supporter and get their reactions to the past two games. Let's get into it then. England came into the latest round of qualifiers off the back of victories over the Czech Republic and Montenegro, 5-0 and 5-1 respectively. Bulgaria up first at Wembley. Anticipation was high for another high score. What with the Lions of Bulgaria bottom of Group A without a win, whilst there was speculation as to whether any of the new call-ups would make a start, Gareth Southgate went pretty much with what he knew. Pickford in goal, a back four of Trippier, Maguire, Keane and Rose, a midfield three of Henderson, Rice and Barkley, and a front three of Sterling, Kane and Rashford. Mason Mount made his first appearance midway through the second half for Jordan Henderson. Sancho and Oxlade-Chamberlain also joined in the second half. Bulgaria pretty much showed why they're in the position they're in, as England pretty much done the bare minimum, which resulted in a 4-0 victory. A hat-trick for Harry Kane, including two penalties, both dispatched to opposite sides of the goal, and Raheem Sterling added the other. To be honest, wasn't the most exciting games, despite the amount of goals. I spent the majority of it with my hand blocking out the sun that bore down on the goal England attacked in the second half. So, on it was to Southampton the following Tuesday, in a game I went on record as saying would be tight, possibly one goal in it, 1-0, 2-1. I doubt very much that anyone saw a 5-3 victory coming. Three changes to the side that faced Bulgaria. Both fullbacks switched. Out went Rose and Trippier, and in came Chilwell and Alexander-Arnold. And Jadon Sancho replaced Marcus Rashford. I'd never been to St Mary's before. Decent stadium, liked it. A one-tier bowl, all way round. Similar to Leicester's King Power. Situated on what appeared to be an industrial estate down by the docks. Plenty of Kosovan support around the ground beforehand, blowing of air horns, cheering, etc. No trouble, although it has to be said the queues to get into the ground were quite excessive and took their time. Despite there being security on the gates, from what I saw, they didn't do a great deal other than take away the occasional bottle from people. So there didn't really seem to be any sort of reason as to why it took so long to get in. Still, I got in the ground, sitting in the chapel stand for the whole 90 minutes, which is more than some, no thanks to the unfortunate issue on the motorway coming into Southampton, where it appears some missed the whole first half. Now, they not only missed Kosovo's score after 34 seconds, which I can only remember San Marino scoring quicker back in 93, but they also missed England's score 5, to make the half-time score 5-1 in England's favour. 2 goals from Jadon Sancho, 1 from Raheem Sterling and Harry Kane, and throw in an unfortunate Kosovan own goal. Now the second half was equally bizarre, as Kosovo scored twice and Harry Kane missed a penalty. Shock of shocks. That's pretty much the bare facts, but here to mull it over a bit more is Dom Smith from englandfootball.org.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, very well, thanks, yeah.
We finally met up yesterday, didn't we?
We did.
Put faces to the names to faces, as we like to say.
Exactly, yeah.
So let's start with Bulgaria. I mean, I guess we haven't really got a great deal to... I think I've pretty much covered it there, Bulgaria, but what were your thoughts on it?
Well, you're right. We don't have a great deal to talk about, but actually, Gareth would probably like it that way because he doesn't want, if we'd won that game 4-2, then we'd be talking about it a bit more. But that's not what he wants. He wants a clean sheet and he wants his team to score lots of goals. If Rashford had put that lovely 1-2 chance away in the 85th minute, we would have been coming off saying we've won 5-0.
And do you know what? I would have come away with a little 11-1 £1 bet on the 5-0.
Oh, no. Oh, see, another reason why Rashford needs to improve on his shooting there, you see.
I won't hold it against him.
No, I don't think we should. He's an England international, so...
But yeah, it would have been good to get 5. But, 3 points, as you say, and just the win is what was needed.
Exactly. And Harry Kane had his 2 penalties. Okay, I know he missed one against Kosovo, but it was a good penalty. The 2 against Bulgaria were even better. And I was impressed by Sterling. I thought he played really well. I thought he arguably was actually our man of the match in both games. Declan Rice, he's really good at winning the ball back. Nothing really to know. I think we scored 4 goals. All 4 of them were probably gifted to us by our opponent somewhere along the line. Those 2 fouls were just ridiculous challenges that they were never going to win the ball for. But we wanted to win the game, to make it 3 out of 3. We won it 4-0. You can't really complain about that.
Yeah, I mean, the Bulgarians' first or England's first goal came through the unfortunate error that the Bulgarians made with their goal kick, which wasn't the first time we actually capitalised on it, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was I honestly think it was always going to happen. That was. I mean, he didn't have enough conviction on his passes out. He didn't look like he actually wanted to be doing it. And there was every time it happened, it was either sent back to the goalie who would whack it up the field, or it was sent back to a centre-back from full-back who'd whack it up the field. So if you're going to end up punting it up the field anyway, there really isn't any point in doing it.
I mean, we will go to Bulgaria next month. They'll still be bottom of the group, I'm sure, but it might be a different kettle of fish in their own backyard.
It may well be, but I think this group is really, really interesting. I mean, before we started our first qualifiers in March, I think I'm pretty sure Montenegro and the Czech Republic and Bulgaria, the other 3 teams other than us and Kosovo, I think they were ranked about 6 places apart from each other in the FIFA World Rankings, something like 42nd, 44th, and 48th. I mean, right. I don't even see how they can be in different pots if they're ranked that closely. But there we are, and it's proving to be the case that actually they're similar tests, that they're all playing a similar level of football. Kosovo, I'd probably say, are about the same. I think all 4 teams in this group are of a similar level. Okay, we struggled against Kosovo last night. I don't think there's any outright minnow, and I don't think there's any outright best team. I think they're all at a similar level, and then there's England, who are going to romp to the top of this group. And if they don't win every game, they've done something embarrassingly wrong.
And it does sort of back up what Gareth Southgate, I heard him say, that maybe the training that they do at St George's Park needs to be a little bit more intense for some of these qualifiers that they're playing.
Oh, I haven't heard him say that. But yeah, anything that's going to ramp up the pressure on those players and make them feel like they're involved in a tournament before they actually are, that can only be a good thing.
Yeah. Well, let's move on then to the Kosovo game. What a seesaw game that was last night. Did you get into the ground all right? Were you there on time?
Yeah, I was there in plenty of time. I had a lovely doner kebab, which settled my nerves, but they all came back in the second half. Goodness me.
Yes. Well, I mean, 34 seconds. I mean, we just took our eye off the ball. Michael Keane and a communication with Harry Maguire. Gareth Southgate must have been pulling his hair out just there.
Oh my goodness me, yeah, and it's pertinent that it is Gareth Southgate pulling his hair out, because the last person to score in exactly the 34th second of an England international was Gareth Southgate.
Really?
Yeah, in 2003 against South Africa, he scored in the 34th second. Sorry.
The 34th second. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, there you go. I mean, as I mentioned earlier, I'm sure that's one of the quickest goals we conceded since the San Marino game, where they scored after about 7 or 8 seconds. I can't think off the top of my head any any quicker goals that we've conceded? I'm sure someone will put me right if you don't before the end of this conversation.
Well, I know that we've scored many goals faster than that, something like 5.
Right.
I think Tommy Lawton against Portugal in the 40s or 50s scored after 12 seconds.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, I think we won 10-1 or something. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, you were there, were you? I believe you.
Yeah. I'm not that old. Not that old, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, 1-0 down, but we sort of put our heads down and came away with a 5-1 half-time score. As you say, Raheem Sterling, you put him down as one of your man of the matches. He got his goal. It was a header, wasn't it?
Yeah, the shortest man on the field beating the tallest man on the field, and they're club teammates, of course, because the Kosovan goalie is a Manchester City academy graduate. So yeah. I
mean, he is a tall lad, and to be fair, that pink goalkeeping outfit didn't really do him any favours, I must admit.
No, it's a bit of a contrast, that, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, Raheem Sterling, I'm trying to think. I think it was the Harry Kane goal where he picked it up in the middle of the park, or one possession in the middle, and just ran at the Kosovan defence and just slid into Harry Kane, who put it away. Yeah, he did have a good game, Raheem Sterling. I believe was he man of the match?
He was given man of the match, yeah. And we were sat literally right by by the corner flag where Harry Kane scored that goal. I mean, we were on the bottom row, and there was no one sat closer to that corner flag. And when I saw Sterling do that turn, I just thought, right, Kosovo are done here, because if you let him turn you are not going to be able to recover and catch up with him when he starts sprinting at you. You just won't.
Mm. Yeah, so Raheem Sterling, he got his goal. Harry Kane, as I say, got his. I mean, Jadon Sancho. When we spoke before the game, you said you thought he would score, and not only did he score, but he got a second one as well.
Yeah, and I think it was 11 years to the day since Theo Walcott became England's youngest ever hat-trick scorer, and I just jokingly tweeted that it was time for Jadon Sancho to break the record, but little did I know it, he was going to score twice and assist once. I still haven't decided who I'd rather have in that position out of Sancho and Rashford. I think they both give you different things. I think Sancho is obviously a provider, and he gets himself into positions that he can score tap-ins. I mean, both of his goals were basically tap-ins. Whereas Rashford is a bit more talented. He can strike a ball better, but yet his decision-making isn't as good, even though he's a little older. So I'd probably edge towards Sancho, but I think I think it's been a bit of an unfortunate international break for Rashford. I mean, he started in the front three against Bulgaria, and the other two of the front three scored, Kane and Sterling, and then all three of the front three scored against Kosovo. So he's the only one to come away without a goal. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame for him, that. But he's an England international through and through. I think he's 21 years of age, and we've been talking about him for 5 or 6 seasons now. So he shouldn't worry. He should not worry.
No, he'll have plenty of opportunities. And when he came on as a substitute for the last, 5 or 10 minutes last night, he had a couple of opportunities, and he really showed his strength down on the. It was almost where I was standing behind the goal. Right. You could see how much he wanted to get involved. He wants to be an England player, and yeah, it's a shame he didn't get his name on the score sheet, but he's still got chances to do that with the upcoming qualifiers next month. Jadon Sancho, as I say, he got his 2 goals. Harry Kane got a hat-trick on Saturday. Raheem Sterling, he got a hat-trick in the previous qualifier. I was kind of hoping that when the penalty came round for England, that Jadon Sancho would have the opportunity to take it. And he was standing there wanting it, but Harry Kane
I didn't think about that.
Took it away from him, and I thought it would have been a nice touch to at least give him the chance to try and get a hat trick.
Yeah, he should have shouted a bit louder, because if Harry had heard him, I reckon he would have given him the chance.
I think Harry took the ball from him, or he just said, "No, I'm having this." But to be fair, the keeper, I'd say he's a big keeper, and he made himself count there and saved that one. It's not often you have a missed Harry Kane penalty, is it?
No, it's not. But Actually, I don't count that as a missed penalty. I don't count Jordan Henderson's one in the World Cup as a missed penalty. If you hit the target, and both of them hit the target really well, I mean, right in the corner. David Ospina and Muric last night, they're both brilliant saves. People might forget Harry Kane has actually genuinely missed a penalty for England before. In 2016, in a pre-tournament friendly before the Euros under Roy Hodgson, he took a penalty against Turkey. At the Etihad, crushed it off the post. Yeah,
I've got a feel. I'm remembering that, and I've got a feeling I was behind the goal that day. Yes, I was. Yeah.
Oh well, you're the curse. You need to stop coming to England games,
or just sit on the sidelines where there's no goal to be aimed at. Yeah, you're right. I mean, you obviously had a view of the Kosovan penalty at the other end, then.
Yeah, I did, and I saw how close Pickford got and how angry he was with himself that he hadn't saved it, but. This is a bizarre situation for Jordan Pickford last night. He will go off. He went off the field having conceded 3 goals to a team that lost 6-0 to Croatia a few years ago, and yet actually he couldn't do anything about any of them. One of them was a penalty, and 2 of them were an absolute gift from his players. And I think he knows that. He must know that he didn't have a single chance with any of them.
I mean, the players that were brought into the squad at the very beginning that had been sort of mentioned, the new players, your Tyrone Mings, James Maddison. I think they were the 2 new players who didn't get an opportunity. Obviously, Mason Mount came on the pitch. Do you think that either 2 of those should have taken to the pitch at any stage?
With the score getting closer and closer, do I think Tyrone Mings should have come on for his debut? Probably not, no. But James Maddison, I'm not going to lie. I'm surprised that he's further down in the pecking order than Mason Mount. I know that Mason Mount is a typical youth system player, sort of nurtured by the England age groups and nurtured by Chelsea, whereas Maddison's had to work his way up through transfers, Norwich obviously, now at Leicester, to get to this level. But I actually think Maddison at the moment, I think Mount's probably got more potential, but I would say Maddison is a better player at the moment. I would have liked to see him get his debut over these games. I think a lot of England fans, and it's not England, you see it all over Europe, these people that get mad for Matthias de Ligt or Kylian Mbappe. People take too much consideration over a player's age. Sometimes you just need to think, it's not about potential or how old they are, it's about who's the best player. So people who are slating Ross Barkley and saying that we should have Phil Foden starting in every England game. Ross Barkley is a better player than Phil Foden. Phil Foden is really talented. He's young, he's exciting, and he'll get his chance if he keeps working hard under Pep Guardiola. But at the moment, Ross Barkley is a better player, and that's why he's being played for England.
There may be some changes at the back. Michael Keane or Harry Maguire. I mean, Joe Gomez has got to be sitting there thinking, I could be in with a chance here come the next qualifiers if I keep working hard.
Yeah, Joe Gomez also, I think, deserved the game. But actually, every time he's played for him, he doesn't put a foot wrong. He made his debut against, I think it was Germany in 2017, 0-0, played excellently. Started the following game, 0-0 with Brazil, got man of the match, had Neymar in his pocket for the entire game. Played brilliantly in the Nations League third place playoff to Switzerland in the summer. And a couple of months before that, obviously, we sealed our place at the finals by beating Croatia 2-1, and his long throw led to our equaliser at Wembley. So, yeah, Joe Gomez has already had a good international career, and he's got a long one coming because he's so young. People don't remember. I think he's 21 still, maybe even 20. So, I think 21. But, yeah, he's got a long England career ahead of him, and he shouldn't worry that players like Michael Keane and Harry Maguire seem to be ahead of him at the moment because he'll make his way in, don't you worry.
Yeah, I think it'll be an interesting squad come next month for the Czech Republic and Bulgaria away. So if we win one more game, we are pretty much foot in the finals, I believe, next month.
Yeah, I mean, it's what you'd expect, isn't it? Our Euro 2016 qualifying group under Roy Hodgson was so easy, and we had that sewn up with 3 games to spare. I expect a similar story. It might not be 3, but a similar story with this one, where you've got it sewn up and you can use the last few games just to practice new methods, practice new tactics, try out new players, new formations, and that kind of thing is invaluable to Gareth and his team, because they don't have all that many international breaks left now until the tournament itself, and therefore they don't have that many games left. So yeah, it'd be good to see some exciting players playing for England in the next few in the next few games, next 4 qualifiers. But we'd also like to see our favourite players play. You don't want to see Harry Kane and Sterling and Maguire dropped for loads of games to try out new players. You want to see these players continue to have great international careers as well.
And this is how the England manager gets all the attention and the stick sometimes he gets, that he has hard decisions to make, doesn't he?
He does, but that's a good thing, because it means that he's got lots of players at his disposal.
Yeah. I'm just reading as well that there's from one of the, I think it's a Northeast newspaper, next year, one of the pre-qualifier or pre-friendlies for next year is going to be played up at St James's Park, which will be interesting.
Yeah, it should be good. I mean, it's a brilliant stadium, but I read that on the Northern Echo, and that is the Northern Echo and not the Southern Echo. So they may be a bit biased on this thing. But no, I would fully support that. I think that's obviously a part of the country which is very, very passionate about football, very passionate about England, and can't always make England games. So yeah, I fully support that idea.
Yes, plus one that I haven't been to as well. So yeah, fingers crossed for that one. Website, englandfootball.org.
Yeah, still going strong. Still doing all my match reports for the England games. Still working on the interviews. Most impressive people I've spoken to so far would be Trent Alexander-Arnold, Kenny Sansom, the ex-England international. Spoken to Henry Winter recently, and various other people. Jonathan Panzo, England under-21s. So yeah, keeping going with that. But my most popular articles tend to be my feature articles, where I write about how England are getting on at the moment, where they're up to, how good other nations are doing. People tend to like that kind of sort of deep analytical perspective.
Good stuff. Well, keep them coming. I saw you both reviews for the Bulgaria game and the Kosovo game as well. So yeah, keep up the good content.
I aim to. I will do.
Good stuff. And yeah, no doubt we'll speak again.
Yeah, that would be brilliant.
Now, it's my pleasure to welcome to the Three Lions podcast Andy Tsachev, and he's speaking to us from somewhere in Bulgaria. Andy, I believe you're on holiday in Bulgaria.
Yes, hello. I'm very glad to be on this podcast. It's a privilege.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Whereabouts are you in Bulgaria at the moment?
I'm near Varna, which is a big city in the Black Sea.
Okay, but you're originally from Sofia, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you're just having a little break there.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So you saw the game at Wembley. Where did you see it? Where did you watch it?
I watched it on a TV at home. It was broadcast on the national Bulgarian television. Of course, the national team is playing, and it has to be on that channel, so people can watch it.
I see. And was there a lot of excitement before the game?
Well, for some fans, it was exciting because they were playing. Our national team was playing against England, and it's actually a big deal for fans like us. But many people didn't expect much. They were seeing a defeat. Some notable players like Dimitar Berbatov said that anything is possible, and they could maybe done a draw. But
was that after the game or before the game?
Before the game. Before the game, he did an interview with Betfair.
I see. And so, obviously, the result was 4-0 in England's favour. Did you think that 4-0 reflected the performance?
Well, yes. In this match, I saw that the team has improved from past games. I saw that in some parts, the first 20 minutes were very good for the team before the mistake that we're going to talk about. I mean, there's much room for improvement. Our players are not world class. They don't play in top 5 leagues, but I'm hoping that there's a little bit of younger side because at the moment 8 players in the squad are over 30 years old, and really they should be retired, not playing
Right.
at this level against a big team like England.
I see. And okay, you mentioned about that first goal, which really was it was a real unfortunate mistake with the goal kick, wasn't it? Trying to play out from the back, and it just didn't work for you, did it?
I don't know what was Plamen Iliev thinking, because I saw the pressure from England. I saw Sterling, I saw Kane, I saw Rashford. They were closing down the position, and I was thinking that he will clear the ball, but I think they were nervous. They were scared a little bit, and they panicked a lot, and that was why that first goal has been taken. Because before that goal, they were actually playing very cool, smoothly. They were testing the opposition, as England as well. They were testing Bulgaria to see what will there be any surprises. Are they going to be slow or fast? And yeah,
And you did hold out for the rest of the first half, but it really was sort of backs against the walls at some stage. You had a whole defensive line. At one point, I counted all 10 outfield players right defending for their lives, weren't they?
well, yes, because you have a perimeter striker like Harry Kane, and who can take shots from any kind of place, as well as Sterling, Henderson, Rashford. They know how to score goals from these kind of ranges, and our players weren't prepared. They were prepared, but weren't prepared for other mistakes that shouldn't be in common. And the formation 4-5-1, I believe, if it was 4-4-2, we could see some attacks from Bulgaria, but we didn't see much. I saw Marcelino, who was the attacker at the team, who was closed down. He didn't have the ball. He didn't have a chance to shoot at Pickford. So the attack was very poor. It was entirely a bit of a park of a bus.
Yeah, yes, as Jose Mourinho would say. Now, a message that I saw that you actually sent to myself with regards to the first penalty. You thought Marcus Rashford dived, didn't you?
Yes, I believe he died because Nikolai Budurov was trying to, of course, Rashford was going to cross, but I just didn't see the contact at all. I just didn't see a contact. For the second penalty, which as well we're going to talk, I saw some clips and I think it was actually a penalty.
The second penalty, I can't remember the Bulgarian player, but he did certainly take Harry Kane's leg from him underneath him, didn't he?
Yes, the player was Christian Dimitrov, the youngster who came actually in for the first guy, Nikolai Budurov, who made the first penalty. And actually, they both made the penalties, which is very funny and unfortunate. But the second penalty was a penalty because Kane actually wanted to take a shot, and just Christian put his leg on his leg and made the contact.
I mean, Bulgaria had a couple of opportunities, and in credit to Jordan Pickford, he didn't have a great deal to do, but he was when he was called into action from early in the second half. I think is it Wanderson who had a shot, and then there was the free kick from Popov as well towards the end. So he had a couple of opportunities.
Oh, absolutely. In the first half, we saw Pickford in action, but the shots were very weak. Vanderson's breakthrough into the defense, I believe, in the left wing. He had a shot, but he couldn't pass to anyone. And Evelyn Popov's free kick was very nice. It was very nice, but Pickford was prepared, of course, for these kind of shots.
In the previous podcast, we spoke with Metodi Shumanov, the Bulgarian journalist, and he mentioned the two Brazilian players that are now nationalised to Bulgaria, one of them being Wanderson there, the other one Marcelino. And he said that there was a sort of a split in Bulgaria about the feeling behind these two Brazilian players. What are your thoughts on them?
Well, I think Wanderson played well, and Marcelino, I think that Kirill Despodov should have played. Because when he came, he had some chances, but he couldn't take them because of the strong English defense. But I don't think we should bring Brazilian players in the squad because it's not typical for our nation to take foreign players a lot. I think for these positions, they were Bulgarians to play.
Right, I see. Now, you only play in the one game as a qualifier in this international break. And unfortunately, it looks like you're still remaining bottom of the group. Where do you see Bulgaria going forwards?
Well, it's very, very hard to say. Now we have a friendly against Ireland, and I want to see in that game a different face. And of course, we need a win, 100% win against Montenegro if we want to battle for the second place, which gives us automatic qualification, and the third at least for a playoff, because it's obvious that England will finish first in this league. I mean, I'm 100% sure.
Obviously, England will be coming to Bulgaria. We're coming to Sofia next month in October. You're from Sofia as well. What can England fans look forward to seeing, and what will it be like in the ground?
Well, for the English fans, I would say that they're going to a very beautiful city. The center of the city is actually just magnificent. I think they will enjoy it, and they sincerely will enjoy the match in Sofia. And of course, the ground is perfect. It's a top-level ground. It's the best ground in the country. And for the Bulgarian fans, as myself, I'm really happy that England will be coming to Bulgaria, and I'm looking forward to take a picture. I'm hoping or autograph from many of the English players, because
you're going to the game, are you?
Oh, absolutely.
Great stuff. What England player are you hoping for an autograph from?
I'm hoping autograph from Marcus Rashford, Harry Kane, or mainly players from Manchester United, because I support them from little age, and I would love to meet one of them.
Well, I wish you all the very best of luck with that. You'll have to let us know if you manage to get an autograph or a selfie with them. Andy, you're actually an artist, is that right?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
What are you doing at the moment?
At the moment, I'm drawing people with retro shirts, because I see that this is very. I like it. I draw players in retro shirts. Sometimes I, of course, make any different graphic design, illustration, and I I really enjoy it.
Oh, great! Is your work anywhere online that people can see?
I have it on Instagram.
Where can people find you on Instagram?
My name is Andy with 2 Y's, then a dot, and NC.
Look forward to it. I'll tell you, I'm going to go and find that and have a look. I know you're on Twitter as well. We'll link to you on Twitter so people can follow you there.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for joining us, and enjoy the game when England come to town.
Oh, of course. Thank you. It's a privilege to be on such a podcast.
Now, let's welcome to the Three Lions podcast from Kosovo. Hello to Albert Hashani. He is the host of the Twitter account at Kosovan Footy. Albert, hello there.
Oh, Russell, how are you? I'm fine, thanks.
I'm good, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us. We're speaking the day after the England against Kosovo game. Talk me through it. How was it for you? How was it? How is Kosovo reflecting on that game a day later?
First of all, in terms of football, it was absolutely brilliant game of football. As a spectator, as a neutral spectator, it was brilliant game of football, and that's very important for us at this moment, since playing good football is really important in this country. We don't actually go into things like grabbing a positive result, since it's been like 3 years since we are member of international community like UEFA and FIFA, and to expect from us to go into Euros or FIFA World Cup, it's, I mean, unbelievable.
This is the dream, is it?
Absolutely. Playing good football, it's playing good football, it's important, but grabbing those results, I mean, it's, like you said, it's a dream. We are currently third standing in our group, 1 point behind Czech Republic. And I mean, it's between us and Czech Republic for second place.
How did you feel 34 seconds in when you scored?
I to be honest, I missed the goal since I was tweeting, we are underway in Southampton.
Oh, no.
And my dad started screaming, we scored. And I don't actually have words to describe that feeling. I was just jumping and screaming, and I just lose my mind.
Where were you watching it?
I was at home. I usually watch football at home since I want to have this comfortability that home gives to me.
Mm.
Besides, when we play in Pristina, I mean, I try to follow our squad in the stadium. But it was, as I say, dream. It was dream.
And then so soon going into the lead, but then so quickly mistakes happened and England capitalised. Really, I think it was a game that was littered with mistakes that players capitalised on. But to be 5-1 down at half time must have been a totally different feeling to that opening minute.
Absolutely. It was so much ups and downs, scoring, conceding 5, then going back into the game in second half. Oh my God. I can't remember feeling like that as I felt after the first half since we lost against Croatia. If you remember, second qualifying game for the FIFA World Cup, we played in Albania back in that time. Since our stadium was under reconstruction, we traveled a lot just to follow our squad, then losing 6-0. I mean, oh my God. After the draw in Finland, we had a really good game, our first competitive game against Finland in Turku. We draw 1-1, all that enthusiasm, and losing 6-0 was, oh my God, this young squad. I don't think we can go back into this. But then we went to lose all our matches then, but we always believed in this squad because this is absolutely the youngest squad of Europe, the youngest national squad of Europe, and we believed in this squad, and now they are showing it.
They're showing you the emotions from this squad coming through to the supporters as well.
Absolutely, you can feel it. You can feel it. All this chemistry between players and the fans, and they showed it last night in Southampton. And you can feel it if you visit this country in November. You're gonna see it. You're gonna feel it.
I'm very much looking forward to it. Your supporters yesterday in the corner of the stand in Southampton made a lot of noise and made the atmosphere something really special last night.
Yes, a lot of positive response, a lot of positive tweets. We received a lot of positive tweets.
How has the media in Kosovo reacted to it?
I mean, they all prized the players. They all gave credits to the response after the terrible first half. I mean, being 5-1 down against England and coming back in the second half and showing all that spirit, that deserves credit. I suppose that deserves credit. and media gave that credit to our national squad.
Very much so. I mean, so second place up for grabs. Can you get that second place?
I have no doubt about that. I have no doubt. Not just me, but entire country believes in this squad, and we showed that last night against England. I mean, we are better side than Czech Republic. We beat them without five key players. And maybe you forgot, but we played also last night without the likes of Rashica of Werder Bremen, Albert Hashani of Reims, Hekuran Kreziu, Herolin Shola, and Benjamin Kolyoli. They are all starters in this 11. They all start. If they are fit, they will start. And we played without them. And imagine what we're going to do against Czech Republic if Rashica is back, Shola is back, and Kolyoli is back, since Zanelli and Kreziu will be out for entire season.
Exciting times ahead, I can see, and if they're back for the England game in November, then it's going to be a very exciting game for England fans coming over to Pristina in November. What can they expect? What's Kosovo like, briefly?
You can expect the warmest possible welcome. I don't think England fans have ever witnessed such a welcome, and you're going to witness it in November. As I'm informed, our football federation has allocated the entire south stand of our stadium to English fans, which means around 2,200 seats will belong to English fans. So it's going to be a real party. It's going to be a real party. We're going to celebrate together.
Love that.
I had an idea. I would like to invite all English fans to exchange their tickets with our fans, so we're gonna sit together. You don't have to stay in the south stand. We don't need to stay separated. I think we should stay together. We need to sit together. Let's keep Kosovan and English fans, English flag together. Let's celebrate. Let's give a great example to the world.
It's a very nice idea. We'll see if something like that comes off. I'm sure the FAM and FIFA and UEFA may intervene, but I like the sentiment behind it. Tell us about your Twitter account, which is now back up and running, which is Kosovan Footy _. You're getting a lot of traffic on there, and a lot of people are following you.
Yes. I created this account in 2016. I mean, it was different one, since my original account is now suspended by Twitter, thanks to their strict rules. But now I created the other one, hoping that my original account will be back. I mean, I wanted to show the world our story. I wanted to show the world our talent and our success.
Well, I think it's safe to say you've done that. Albert, thank you very much for joining us, and let's speak ahead of the game in November.
Hopefully we're going to meet here in Pristina and we're going to talk together.
Look forward to it. We'll be in touch.
Thanks, Russell.
Now, as promised, we'll go through all those England results from the international period. We know about the men's seniors. We've just been speaking about those. But let's go back to the 3rd of September when the Lionesses went over to Norway. Georgia Stanway got the early opener, only her second Lionesses goal on a cracking strike from just outside the box before Norway equalised with another set-piece corner, just as they'd conceded against Belgium. And then, with 2 minutes left, Norway got the winner in Bergen. Now, the Lionesses were missing key players, Jordan Nobbs, Ellen White and Jill Scott, to name 3. But I think putting Lucy Bronze in midfield, I'm not sure this is an option going forward, as surely this is going to be one of Jordan Nobbs' position once fully recovered. Now, Phil Neville was in the news on a couple of occasions, being touted as the future USA manager following the resignation of Jill Ellis. And he was also quoted as saying the following: I have a vision that nobody else has. I've got bravery that no other coach has probably had. So do you know what? Thank you, lucky stars, I'm here to stay, and I'm going to keep improving. I've got a long way to go, but with the set of players we've got and my philosophy, I think we can go a long way. I live and breathe it, and I never have a bad day. Very strange, boastful comments, the sort we'd expect from the likes of, say, Jose Mourinho or maybe Jurgen Klopp. Anyway, at half-time of the Norway game, the FA announced that Brazil would be England's next opponents, and this will be played the 5th of October at Middlesbrough's Riverside Stadium, which is shortly before the Lionesses host Germany at Wembley in November. So that was the Lionesses game where they went down 2-1 to Norway. Now I think this is where we're going to need the Vidi printer sound effect. The men's under-21s, Friday the 6th of September, in a Euro 21 qualifier, England travelled to Turkey. Watch this one online, where it's in quite an intimidating atmosphere, which is the sort of thing you'd expect in Turkey. Ended Turkey 2, England 3. Eddie Nketiah scored twice, then Reece Nelson got the winner. A few days later, Monday the 9th of September, England 2, Kosovo 0, played up at Hull. 2 goals from Manchester City's Phil Foden made it 2 wins from 2. How long will it be before Mr. Foden makes it into Gareth Southgate's 23, 24, 25, however many he chooses for the next squad? Now the under-20s. Thursday the 5th of September, played in Shrewsbury, England 0, Netherlands 0. From what I can gather, not a great deal to really say about that one. Then the 9th of September, Monday night, Switzerland 0, England 1. A last-minute goal from Jack Clark, who's on loan at Leeds from Spurs. And the men's under-19s, England 3, Greece 1. This was on the 5th of September, played up at St George's Park. Goals from Daniel Adshed of Norwich, Ryan Edmondson of Leeds, and a penalty from captain Thomas Doyle from Manchester City saw off a physical Greek side who had opened the scoring. And then on Monday the 9th of September, England travelled to Germany for a friendly where they went down by 1-0. Now the men's under-18s, Friday the 6th of September, played at Leicester Road Football Club. England 3, Australia 2. Alex Myton of Nottingham Forest scored a hat-trick as England came from behind in a 4-team tournament. They then went on to play Brazil at Hednesford on Sunday the 8th of September. Drew that 1-1. However, Brazil then went on to win 4-2 on penalties. And then on Tuesday the 10th of September at Alfreton Town, England beat South Korea 2-0. Now, this one. The under-17s in a tournament called the Syrenka Cup, hosted in Poland, England got off to a great start, beating Finland by 5-0. That was on Friday the 6th of September. All these games played in Poland. They then went on to play Austria, beating them 4-2. Then they played the hosts, Poland. They drew 2-2. They then won 3-1 on penalties. Goalkeeper Connor Boyce-Clark was the young Lions penalty hero, saving 2, whilst Lewis Dobbin, James Norris and Jaden Raymond netted for England to ensure a 3-1 penalty scoreline. This comes after the game had ended 2-2. Harvey Elliott and Jamal Masala got the goals before Poland got back into the game. So the under-17s picked up the Syrenka Cup. Congratulations to those boys and manager Kevin Betsy. Perhaps they'll get the chance to parade the trophy around Wembley for the Montenegro game in November. So remember some of those names: Connor Boyce-Clark, James Norris, Lewis Dobbin, Jaden Raymond, Harvey Elliott, Jamal Masala. they could be the players of the future, and they've already got their hands on some England silverware. There, thanks for listening. I hope you've enjoyed it. What an international break it's been. Thanks to Andy from Bulgaria, Albert from Kosovo, and Dom Smith. You'll find all their contact details over on our Twitter page. Just check that pinned tweet. You can find that at 3 Lions Podcast. Once again, if you've enjoyed it, please do give us a thumbs up on your chosen podcast provider. And do tell your mates. Go on, spread the word around. I would be more than appreciative. Thank you very much. We are on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and also 3lionspodcast.com. Normal football now resumes. I hope your club side does as well as England have. We'll speak again soon. Until then, cheers.